everyone, I'm Sean Sparks with Team Wootzor. Today I will be reviewing a card game called Star Wars Episode 1 Clash of the Lightsabers. Now this is a two-player game produced by Hasbro, I believe in 1999, so it's been out of print for a long time. But it's really easy to find and really cheap, so you know, if you happen to like it, then you know it's easy to find. This pits Qui-Gon Jinn against Darth Maul. And one of the reasons I picked this up, first of all, I'm a Star Wars fan, and second of all, I mean, the price alone just for these two really cool pewter miniatures, I mean, you know, I had to have it. So, but how does it play? Well, let's find out. So this is the basic layout of the game. On the left here you will see 5 cards, and on the right there are 5 cards. These are the score tracking cards that each player will use to track their score along the way, and the first one to reach the top here, which is 5 points. You can see the numbers. There's numbers on each one of these cards. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And same thing over here on the right. And there's also, as you move up in scoring, you just move your pewter miniature, which this is Qui-Gon Jinn. These are really nice, by the way. And this is Darth Maul's pewter figure. You just put those on the first card there. And then you also will see 2 battle decks. The green is for Qui-Gon, and the red deck here is for Darth Maul. And in those decks, there are various cards, such as power cards, which just have a basic number with an attack value, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have special cards, such as Darth Maul's Rage, Retreat, Bursts of Energy, Use the Force, Darth Sidious, Life Drain, Sith Lord, Block, and Final Attack. And similarly, in Qui-Gon's deck, you kind of have the same type of cards. So you can get a look at those. Now the game starts like this. Each player draws 7 cards, so let's do that. So there's 7. And over here, we draw 7 cards. Now, from those 7 cards, players will play 3 cards that will represent 3 separate battles. Okay? And I'll talk about how the scoring is done, you know, after we go through the 3 battles. So here is what Qui-Gon Jinn's hand looked like. And what players will do, will look at their hand and they will secretly place 3 cards. So we'll just lay them down without even showing them on camera here, what they look like. And we'll just do that, just like that. So there are Qui-Gon Jinn's 3 played cards. And then we will play, let's take a look at Darth Maul's hand. Oh, he's got some big cards. Yeah. Alright. So let's secretly play some of his cards. Let's go that. Let's do that. And how about that? Okay, so there is Darth Maul playing his 3 cards. Now, so here's what you have to do. If a player can win 2 of these 3 battles, he will get 1 point and move his miniature up to the scoring card that says 2 on it. If a player can win all 3, well, he scores 2 points. So you move up. Like I said, the first one to get to 5 wins. Now, if there's ever a draw, like a player, Darth Maul won 1, Qui-Gon won 1, and then this one turned out a draw, then neither player would get a point. So let's look at this first one. So cards with the first battle, players would just simply flip over the cards. And we can see right there from the get-go that Darth Maul is winning this battle. It's 5-4. But Qui-Gon, since he's losing, he has a couple options. He can concede the battle, or he can play a card from his hand. So we look at his hand, and let's see here. Well, this would probably, you know, there's some strategy in just drawing from the from one of the battles in an attempt to maybe win the other two. Actually, there's a lot of strategy in that. So what he will play first is this draw 2 cards. So we draw 2 cards, in which we got, oh, look at that, that's a nice draw. Now, since he's still losing the battle, since it's still 5-4, he can play another card. He could just play this. Now it's it's a 4 plus a 3 is 7. It is 5-7. So now Qui-Gon Jinn is winning this battle. Darth Maul has a chance to now concede the battle, or he can play a card. Looking on here, oh, he could play this. There you go. So now looking at that, it is 7-8. So Qui-Gon looks at his hand, and he could take the lead with that card, but he's not going to. He's going to play this retreat, which means I concede, as you can see, but I return all cards played in this battle to my hand. So I would play that. I now concede this battle, but all these cards, except for this card itself, the retreat card, which goes into the discard pile, come back to Qui-Gon Jinn's hand. But Darth Maul has won the first battle. So now we proceed on to the second battle. And looks like Maul has a 2. Uh-oh. And Qui-Gon has a 2. Now, when this happens, in this instance, we go into a standoff, which is where players just play cards simultaneously until somebody wins the hand or the battle. So let's look at Qui-Gon. Now players wouldn't know what they're playing. He's got this, so he would lay that down. This would probably be a really good card for Maul. It can remove any of Qui-Gon's cards played in this battle, so we put that down. And then they would reveal simultaneously. So essentially, Qui-Gon has a 6, and it's to 2. What he could do with this block, though, is immediately cancel any of Qui-Gon's played cards. Obviously, he's going to cancel the 4. So now, it would still be tied, but at this point, there's a tiebreaker rule. Anybody who has more cards played, when there's a tie in points, wins the battle. So essentially, since now Maul has 2 cards, Qui-Gon has 1, Maul just won that battle. Now Maul's in really good position right now because he's guaranteed now to score 1 point. But we'll go to the final battle. And we got a 1 versus a 2. So Maul is winning this one. We look at Qui-Gon. He can concede or play. He's obviously going to play. So he needs to bring out his big cards. Yeah. So 5-2. Maul can respond. How about Sith Lord, which allows him to draw 1 card and play it immediately. It's a good card. So he lays that down. Oh. Well, now it's 5-5. Now that doesn't create a standoff because at this point Maul is winning because he has more cards played than Qui-Gon. So no standoff is created in that situation. But now Qui-Gon has the option to concede or to play a card. So let's see here. He would probably play, let's just go with the 3 attack, which now makes the score 8-5. And in response, Maul, when in play, he could play Darth Sidious ×2. While in play, Darth Sidious doubles the attack value of all cards in this battle, of all your cards. So if he played that, that now makes it 10-8, and Maul is back in control again. This one's a good battle. Well, this life drain is not going to do any good at all. Now, Darth Maul is out of cards, so this is an advantage for Qui-Gon. He could play Use the Force, which allows Qui-Gon to draw 2 cards. He gets a 1 and a 3. There we go. So, now they drew those cards. He plays the 3, which now gives him 11 total. Let's spread these out a little bit here. 11 total to 10. Darth Maul has to concede because he has no more cards. So, these will get discarded. Qui-Gon won that 3rd battle, which essentially kept Maul from getting 2 points. But Maul did get 1 point because he won 2 of the 3 battles. So Maul moves up to the 2. And he's out of cards. Now here's the thing. Qui-Gon did not use all of his cards. He still has 3 cards remaining. Those get to stay in his hand for the next round. So cards can carry over from one round to the next. And what would happen at this point, each player would draw 7 more cards. So Maul would start with 7. Qui-Gon would have 10 cards. And, you know, they would just continue playing like this each round until somebody gets up to 5 points. Okay, so that was a quick look at how the game plays. You know, here's my thing. I would appreciate it a little bit more if the cards were, the special cards, were a little more different. Both, you know, the Maul deck and the Qui-Gon deck are kind of the same. Of course, the strategy is and how you play the cards. And really, there is a real serious level of strategy to this game in the sense that, hey, do I lose a battle? Do I not want to waste cards? Do I want to, you know, go ahead and throw this whole point away in order to keep cards for the next round? So I really like the level of strategy in this game. I just wish the cards, there was a little bit more variant between the 2 decks and the cards. And obviously, like you've seen in the video earlier, you know, these pewter miniatures are really cool. I think I picked this up for like $5 on eBay, maybe. I don't remember. But anyway, $5. It's worth it just for the, you know, pewter miniatures. On the downside, if there is one that jumped out at me other than the cards not having a wide variant is, you know, it looked like this was meant to be part of a series where there would be episode 2 or maybe we could see, you know, the epic battle of Dooku versus Yoda. Episode 3 where, let's see who, Obi-Wan and Anakin at the end. And maybe even all the way to episode 6 where Luke battles Vader. You know, it would have been nice to see them put out more of these. They never did. Maybe they weren't successful enough to do it. But that would have made this definitely much more interesting. But as it is, it's a quick game. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes to play. It's an easy, you know, pull it off your shelf as a filler to kill some time. I don't think you could play it all the time, but if you just played it occasionally, it's going to be a lot of fun. There's enough strategy, and the game's going to change just enough each time that you'll enjoy it. So I kind of like it. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, which is really high for me for a card game because I'm not really big on card games. But and the theme for this is okay. You know, it's got cool screenshots on some of the special cards, so that's kind of nice. But the pewter miniatures are just really what I love, and I love Star Wars, so I'm giving it a 7. Thanks, folks. We'll see you next time, and may the Force be with you.